If you are somebody that is okay with what is going on currently in this country, with the efforts of President Trump and ICE and the National Guard, if you are cheering that on, do not call yourself American. Don't even call yourself human. You're inhumane at best. Brown people are being snatched off the street by ICE agents, or possibly not ICE agents. We don't know because these agents' face are covered. They have no badge, no identifying markers. They're in unmarked cars, snatching people off the street simply for being brown and whisking them away. For all you know, it's a white supremacist taking advantage of the situation, doing what they need to do to kidnap brown people off the street. Whether it's ICE kidnapping them or some white supremacist taking advantage of the situation, these people are not receiving due process. Now, before you politically illiterate morons jump in my fucking comment section to tell me that undocumented immigrants don't deserve due process, yes, they fucking do. Due process is how you determine whether or not somebody is undocumented. You can't tell just by looking at them. Not to mention the amount of white people from Europe that are here in this country unlawfully, undocumented themselves, that are not getting raided and swept up and taken away. It's brown people. You can go find me in an exception fallacy all you fucking want, but the majority of it, the focus of it, is on brown people. You were sold a fucking lie. You were told they were going to go after criminals and those that were already meant to be deported, and instead they are ripping families apart. They're going after hard workers that are a good portion of the backbone of this country, that are the reason why you have food on your fucking table, tearing parents away from children, all because why? Because they crossed an imaginary line, because what it takes to get here legally would have taken too long for them to try to seek out a better life for their family. You see, a tenet of fascism is identifying a scapegoat, like brown people, and unifying everyone against them as them being the common enemy. This is exactly what's happening. And all of you that are agreeing to this, that are cheering this on, are like, yes, daddy, let me lick those boots. I want to taste all the leather. Give me more. And what is it you guys say? Oh, well, they didn't want to get deported and arrested, then they shouldn't have come here illegally. They should have done it the legal way. Because a civil offense is where you draw the line. You draw the line at civil offenses. Okay. So the boy you voted for, that you put in office, has been convicted of 34 felony criminal offenses. A prosecutor brought evidence before a judge. They ran their case. Trump ran his case. Trump lost. Convicted 34-time felon. That was the due process part, where all of it was brought to court. They got to argue back and forth to figure out whether or not he was guilty. That's due process. And then you guys voted for him. You said you were proud to vote for a felon, to put him in office. There's videos showing ICE aiming rubber bullets at reporters, the press, which, by the way, is an international crime as well as it is a war crime. In fact, using like tear gas and all that shit, that's also a war crime. And they're doing it against American citizens and the press. Actively attacking the First Amendment. Protesters and the press. Mind you, every protest is peaceful except for the ones where ICE shows up at. Which is weird because ICE becomes the common denominator when violence or riots break out at protests. National Guard is being called in to back up ICE. You guys some of you are cheering on the idea that the military, the U.S. military, will be turned on U.S. citizens exercising their right to freedom of speech. All because ICE and other law enforcement go in there and escalate the situation to a point where they get to call it a riot. So you'll eat that shit up with the taste of leather on the fucking local news. Right? Because the news doesn't sensationalize anything. Draw the line at someone crossing an imaginary line to seek a better life for their fucking family and just cutting around all the red tape that is just doing nothing but holding people back. Unless you're a millionaire, and then you can buy the gold card instead of a green card, because cartels don't have millions of dollars. Right? Because there's no criminals out there outside of the U.S. that have millions of dollars that can afford that. You draw the line at somebody that's coming here to work hard for wages that are below minimum, below a living wage, to provide a better life for their family. You draw the line there. But you're okay with war crimes, and you're okay with electing